Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well on this Thursday morning in Central PA or wherever you are. I once again appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule and joining the webinars. I wanted to start with just a couple updates. And why is this not working for me? There we go. That's probably better for those of us that wear glasses. So as many of you probably know, yesterday was the close for 2/1 effective dates. Those guidelines are right from HHS, and they're pretty strict unless, of course, they come out at the 11th hour with an extension. They did not come out with an extension for the 2/1s. So at this point, we are working on the 3/1s as of 12:01 this morning. So your 3/1 effective dates will run through February 15th. So just keep that in mind as you're talking with your clients so that you can really get the clients in when they need it. And also keep in mind if they're currently uninsured, if they are uninsured for an excess of 3 consecutive months, then they are going to be subject to the individual tax, which of course is $95 per person, up to three lives per family, or 1% of their taxable income, whichever is greater. So it could be substantial, and we certainly need to get these people insured so that they don't have to end up paying that tax. Now, I've gotten a lot of questions, and as we get closer to the close of the FFM, which is on March 31st, the whole open enrollment and initial enrollment period is going to end. So whether you're making application on the exchange or off the exchange, March 31st, again, unless extended, is the last time for somebody to go in to the FFM or to make application outside for a 2014 effective date, unless there is a qualifying event. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the qualifying events. They're pretty typical, but this is going to be in the newsletter that I'm sending out, so you'll have this information. But in order to buy in the marketplace or outside of the initial enrollment period, getting married would be a qualifying event, having or adopting or a placement of a child, permanently moving to a new area that offers different health plans. For instance, if you move to Maryland, there's different health plans there. They have a state-based exchange. So that would be a qualifying event to apply within the Maryland state plans, either on or off their exchange. Losing other health coverage, which many of us will be faced with the renewals coming up in 2014. So if they lose coverage due to job loss, the plan is dissolving, divorce, loss of eligibility, expiration of COBRA, then they would actually qualify for a special election period. And there's a note that basically says voluntarily quitting other health coverage or being terminated for not paying your premiums, those are not considered loss of coverage. So losing coverage that is not minimum central coverage is also not considered loss of coverage. So just keep those in mind. For people already enrolled in the marketplace, if having a change in income or household status affects eligibility for tax credits or cost sharing reductions, that's also a qualifying event. There are some special election periods that if you do have a qualifying event, you go into the special election period, which means you can enroll or change your health plan outside of the open enrollment period, and most special enrollment periods last about 60 days from the qualifying event. Another note is that a person can make application through Medicaid and CHIP at any time. So just keep those in mind. Again, all of that information will be in the newsletter, so you have it, at your fingertips. Another, we've talked the last several weeks about numbers, and a number I want to bring to your attention now is the, again, the enrollment cutoff dates, 3/31, and also 314%. And Pennsylvania, for CHIP coverage, for subsidized CHIP coverage, allows a family to have an FPL percentage up to 314% in order for a child under 19 to qualify for some sort of subsidized CHIP. So if they're within these guidelines, the 314%, then the children of your clients have no choice but to either enroll in a CHIP plan or enroll outside of the marketplace. At this point, again, there's no functionality within the FFM to allow a parent to keep that child on their plan even if they're not getting subsidized for that child. So I'm sure that's one of the fixes, but at this point, you know, those are our choices. An EVIX update. Our quoting portal is moving along quite nicely. We have Central Highmark, Western Highmark, Blue Cross Blue Shield, UPMC is going live probably today. Aetna is on there, Blue Cross of Northeastern PA is on there, Independence Blue Cross they're working on, and Cap Blue Cross just went live. So the carriers are, and I'm sorry, Geisinger is, I believe, in the testing phase. So they are working diligently to get everything up and running. Our web broker contract is moving along nicely, so hopefully we'll have some exciting details to share with you in the next upcoming weeks. But I just at least wanted to give you an update on where we stand with EVIX. I've been getting a lot of questions on catastrophic coverage, and many of you know that catastrophic coverage is available in the marketplace and also outside of the marketplace. It is specific to people under the age of 30. Really, it is exactly what it says. It's catastrophic coverage only. They have high deductibles, high out-of-pockets, you know, the $6,350 or the $12,700. Well, it's for a single, but the $6,350. They do have limited doctor visits. So personally, I think they're a little bit overpriced for what your client is getting, but just know that they are out there for people that are less than 60. They are also open to people over 60, over 30 that have a hardship exemption, or those that are below 100% of the FPL, so they wouldn't qualify for an advanced premium tax credit, but they're above the current Medicaid guidelines. Those people can also apply for a catastrophic coverage. So just wanted to let you know that. A couple of things offline here, not in the agenda. I wanted you to be aware that we're actually, you know, for those of you that use a mobile device, Jim McDaniel and his team are actually launching a mobile device, mobile version of our website, URL insgroup.com. So I think that's pretty exciting with the world of droids and smartphones. I think it's certainly something that is needed. So watch for information on that. And brings us up to our submitted questions. We actually don't have one submitted question this week, but I wanted to take this time to remind you, for those of you that are licensed with us with Health America One or were licensed with us for Health America One up until 1/1 of 2014, if you have not sent in that transfer form that Health America requested, you will not receive commissions for your current Health America One cases, not just new business, but cases on the books. So if you've not completed that form, I urge you to get that in, because commissions will come to a screeching halt, and I'm sure that's going to affect all of us at some level. So please keep that in mind. For those of you that have completed the Flash licensing pack, Tish, our Director of Licensing, is going to be auto-filling that information for you, but there's a significant amount of you that have written Health America One Business that have not completed a flash packet, and in those instances, someone will reach out to you for that information because, again, it's going to affect your income. You will not get Health America income commissions if you don't complete it. So that brings us quickly this week to the open forum, and I do see that I have a few questions, and I'm going to start with the questions that have been submitted thus far. I only have two, actually. And first one comes from Tim. It says, do you have more knowledge on what happens to dependents being sent to the CHIP or medical assistance and how that plays out once the marketplace sends them there? He says he actually had one family applying via the FFM that had one child sent to CHIP and the other sent to medical assistance. Well, I can tell you, Tim, that I've been getting a lot of questions about this because people are chomping at the bit and they're waiting for the marketplace to relay the information to the Medicaid and CHIP services, and what's happening is that information is slow to be sent. So a lot of people in this situation are not getting the information. I would encourage you not to wait to receive the information. Go right to the Compass website, and I will get that information out, the Compass website, see how we can get that out in a mass sort of way so that you all have access to it. But I'll at least get it out to you, Tim, and I'll see about putting that in our newsletter. Tracy asks the question, you can purchase an approved ACA plan direct with a carrier after the 3/31/2014 date, correct? And that is incorrect. I mean, the enrollment is for both on and off exchange. 3/31, it comes to a halt unless there is a qualifying event. You know, again, if you have cases that are renewing, specifically with Health America One, there's a lot of mid-year renewals for Health America One, for Aetna, you know, for other carriers. That's a qualifying event, and your client can then enroll in an ACA compliant plan. But outside of a qualifying event, it ends on 3/31. So please get in touch with all of your clients and let them know that it's very important for them to make a move. Tracy says, if a client gets health coverage through their employer but it's too high of a premium, can they go direct and purchase a plan direct for them and their family? They can, absolutely. It's not a qualifying event unless it's deemed to be unaffordable, which is the 9.5% parameters. An employee cannot be charged more than 9.5% of his or her W-2 income for the single-only premium. So that's the affordability clause. But if somebody, and if a person is in that situation and they go to the exchange, if the employer plan is deemed unaffordable, then they can actually qualify or make application through the FFM and get a tax credit. But an employer that offers coverage, an employee can still waive off of that coverage at any time and go direct coverage, not through the FFM, and just purchase individual coverage as they can now. But terminating that coverage voluntarily is not a qualifying event. So if they want to do that, then they need to do that, you know, within the open enrollment period. Charlie asks, please review the catastrophic coverage again for people that don't qualify income-wise. For people over 30, if they are below 100% of the federal poverty level, but above the current Medicaid standards, which for Pennsylvania is around 54-ish%, then they need to qualify for a subsidy, and they don't qualify for Medicaid. So those people within that block, those percentages, are able to purchase catastrophic coverage even if they're over 30. John says, do you know when and how we'll know whether we've been credited for sales made on healthcare.gov? Well, John, that's, you know, again, the million-dollar question. I know the carriers are really working through the enrollment. Also keep in mind that for 1/1 effective dates, the payment cutoff date was yesterday. Pardon me, yesterday. So the carriers are really working through trying to hook everything up and get everything activated. But at this point, you can contact your case manager and they can check with the carrier to see if one, they have received the case, and two, if they have you as the agent of record. I would say also, all of you that are selling within the FFM and outside for that matter, keep good records. Keep your client's name, when they made application, the plan, effective date. Keep as much information as you can so that we can fall back on it if necessary. So those are all the submitted questions. Unless there are any more, it looks like we're going to close pretty early today. And as you know, my next webinar, the webinars are every Thursday at 9:30. So the next webinar is January 23rd at 9:30. Hopefully you can join us. You can go to our site under upcoming events and register ahead of time. And they're all pre-recorded or recorded, so you can listen to them at your leisure and, put up your feet and pop some corn and listen and watch them if you choose. Jim McDaniel entered a poll question, so all of you will see that. And if you want to take a few minutes and fill out that poll question, I'd appreciate it. Other than that, we are done for the day, and I hope that all of you have a wonderful Thursday, right into Friday, and a great weekend. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.